Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to get straight into it today. This is the card I'm going to create for you in a different colour. It's called a Triple Z Fold card and it opens out like this. I've scaled it down from one of the original videos that I watched. They had a lot bigger card, but I've scaled it down so it will fit in a standard C6 envelope once you fold it in. So that's what we're going to be doing. Just a quick reminder with my groups and my Facebook page. My Facebook page, if you want to have a look at some of my cards and creations, if you go into Cards by Laura, there's lots of nice cards in there. You can case those if you wish, or contact me. I do sell my cards through that group, and I do sell my cards and projects at markets as well. I have a Facebook group. It's called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. All the videos that I do, the PDFs for these videos that I do are in that file section in that group. So you're welcome to go in there. You'll need to join the group. There are a couple of questions in there when you ask to join. If you would like to answer, well, you need to answer before I accept you in the group. One of them is why you would like to join the group, and the other one is you agree to the rules. The rules are fairly simple. There's only a couple there about being courteous and polite, and no self-promotion in there. It's not a selling group, it's just a share group. And the YouTube that you're watching today is called Creative Gems. If you have any friends that would like to have a look or subscribe, just go into Creative Gems and you'll find me in there. If you hit the little bell and subscribe, and then there will be another bell come up that you can hit there, and you'll be notified of all the videos when they go up. I do record my videos only because it suits me better time-wise to record and then upload. So we shall get started. That's the one we're doing today. And as usual, I've prepped all my pieces ahead of time, and these are the measurements. The measurements will be in the description box of this video. So you can hop in there if you want to copy them from there, or you can just take a screenshot of this, and I'll go through the pieces with you before we assemble. I have also, and I do this with all my cards, I create templates to start with, so that you're not going ahead and cutting your good cardstock and paper and then finding that it's the wrong measurement. So I always do a template on some scrap card. I've got lots of scrap card here that are retired colours. Can't even remember what this colour was. So it's in 3 pieces, and they're all 11 inches long, which you'll get out of an A4 sheet. 2 of them you can get out of one piece, and then you will need the narrower piece on another piece of off another sheet of cardstock. The measurements for the bases, and this is the first one, this is the back one. It's 11 inches by 4 1/4. The centre one is 11 by 3, and I haven't scored these on the original yet that I'm going to use. We'll do that as soon as we get started. And then the front piece is 11 inches by 1 1/2, and they all stack together nicely like so. I've got the measurements and all written on here as well for my own benefit, and the name of the card. So I shall show you the pieces as we go. These are the 3 base pieces, and I'll show you the scoring on that in a minute. Then we have the back mats and DSP. So that's this one here, 5 1/4 by 4. That's the mat. The mats I've done in white on this one. That's the white piece there. The second mat, which is this one here, is 4 by 2 1/2. And the other one is 4 by 2 1/2. So both those are exactly the same size. Not all of them end up the same size for different pieces, but you'll see as you go along. And I've used 3 different patterns from the Hello Irresistible DSP pack. Really pretty pack. I love this pack. I've got a few of them. Haven't started this one yet. The centre mat, they're the back ones. The centre ones are these ones here. 4 inches by 2 3/4, which is the bigger one. It'll go that way. And then 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 and 2 3/4 by 2 1/2, which is that one there. So they'll all sit in that order. Just going to have a mouthful of water. I always manage to get a tickle in my throat as soon as I start. And then our front mats, that's these ones here, 5 1/4 by 1 1/4, that's that one, 2 1/2 by 1 1/4, and 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. So 2 of those are the same size. The mats are the back pieces. And then the DSP on the fronts of all of them, which I've already shown you the fronts. The back one is 5 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 is this one, and that one's the same, 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. That's those three. And then the centre panels, 2 3/4 by 2 1/2, and then 2 1/2 by 2 1/4, and 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. That's the centre ones. And then the front ones are 5 by 1. That's this one here. 2 1/4 by 1 and 2 1/4 by 1. There's two the same there. And that's all you will need. There's a lot of little pieces there, but if you get them all cut beforehand, it doesn't take you too long to assemble. My back greeting mat, which is in the Flirty Flamingo. My bases are in Flirty Flamingo. They measure 4 inches by 2 1/2, and the basic white piece on the top, which is where you can do your writing, is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. I didn't show you on this one. I've tucked it in. I was going to put it in here, but then if you've got it open, you can sort of see in there. Whereas if it's on this first panel here, it's sort of hidden at the back. So, but it's up to you. You can put it on either of those, or if you want a bigger space, you could do one at the back of here, and that would be the same size mats as this one, and the mat there and the DSP there would be the same as the back there if you want to change your writing panel. Then we have some scrap cardstock for greetings and decorations, and I'll show you those after I've already cut those for you. So we'll put all that back over there, and now we shall get started on the scoring. Not a lot of scoring to do. This one here, and I'll just go from my other sheet here. So the base one at the back, we're going to score, one score is in half. So it's in quarters to start with, which is 2 3/4 on the long side. Put the cutter out of the road. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, which creates your half size of your card. And we'll fold those in a minute. The middle one is 4 1/4 and 7. 4 1/4 is there. And then we'll put the arm out, and 7 inches is the second one there. You could make the width of these as whatever you like. This back one you could make wider. It'll still all be the same scoring measurements. You could make this one wider if you've got the back one, and the same with the front one. You could do it to whatever size you like. That's those two. And then the front one is 5 1/2 and 8 1/4. So it's over here, 5 1/2 and 8 1/4, which is there. And you're going to fold and burnish them all the same way. So you'll do a mountain fold and a valley. Oops, we'll pull those apart. So we've got a mountain there. I'll show you from my original card. So they're all mountains to start, and then valleys is the second fold to get you the right angle of everything. just get my bone folder. So that's the mountain, and then this one will be valley. Give them a nice crease. It does work out a little bit thick, but overnight, I did this one yesterday, and overnight I had a block, one of the bigger blocks, sitting on top of it, and it sort of flattened it down quite a bit. So if you've got something that you can use to as a weight on it, and just sit it down overnight. So from this end, we've got a mountain and then a valley. If you go from the scores the way you had them originally and fold and burnish across the score lines, that there got bent when it's going to get covered anyway. And then we have a mountain here and then a valley. All nice and straight. So all of those will be slopped together like so. And it will stand up just like that. Then we can put, I've already adhered all of these mats together, so we can put them on. I'll do the back one first. We'll do all the decoration to finish. Now something's wrong there. What have I done wrong? That is not 5.5. That's not in the centre. Looks like I've made a mistake to start with. 5.5. Yep, we've missed that one. We'll just go a little bit further over there. I think I must have measured 5 instead of 5.5. I did. That's okay. We'll push that score line out. It's that one there that shouldn't be there. It'll get covered with this one will be a valley. It's going to get covered at the front anyway. I don't want to start the whole thing again. And then it should fit. Yes, that goes there. This centre one will be covering it here. And the end one will be there. So that's okay. It's not a good video unless you make a mistake. So I'll just put some Stamp and Seal around the edges of that. And then these will go on here. We're well into spring at the moment, and it's starting to feel like summer. It's going to be up to 30 degrees, I think, today, or the day I'm recording, which will be before you see the video. But we're well into spring, which is a nice time of the year, provided it doesn't get too hot. So that one will go on that end. And that's your back pieces. The middle section, let's see if we've scored this right. I think it was just that back one. This one here. And I've got the flowers so that they're facing upwards on this. There's some really nice patterns in this paper. And a lot of the sheets of paper, they do cut out. I'm using some of the flowers as decoration, and I've die cut them with the dies that go with the bundle. I'm doing a catalogue order, the new mini catalogue that's gone out to customers now. I'm doing a nice order soon. We've got a retreat coming up here in October that I'm hosting at my home, which will be nice. We've got 12 ladies coming. This one goes over this side. Numbers have closed off for it because I need to do the order. So I'm sure if you do live close by anywhere, and There will be another one next year. If anyone's interested in coming, love to have you join us. We started out with one at the beginning of the year and I had 5 ladies. This one I've got 12, and I can only accommodate 12, so if you get in early, there's no problem fitting in. I've lived in Brisbane all my life. This is only the second or third house. I was brought up in a suburb called Annerley, and then I moved as a teenager. When I started high school, I moved to another suburb called Park Ridge, and then my mum remarried. My dad passed away, and then my mum remarried, and the gentleman that she married, he lived in Park Ridge as well, so we didn't have far to move. Lived there until I got married, and then we lived in another house not far from here, about 15 minutes from here. Lived there for 30 years with my now husband. We've been married for nearly 53 years, and then after we were married, after that house being there for 30 years, we moved to where I am now. A lot smaller, not smaller house, a bigger house, but a smaller block. We were on acreage when we lived the previous house, and now we're just on about a 1,200 square metre block. Still at plenty of room, got some big sheds and plenty of room to host my workshops and classes, and I won't be moving from here. This is where I intend to stay for the rest of my life. Right, that's that piece done. We'll get back to this crafting. Now, all of these end pieces, you can glue straight down onto the piece behind it. So we're going to, I'll keep using my snail for these. Sometimes I use liquid glue, but this one I think I'll use the snail. So these can go straight down, and all you're doing is putting it right on this end, the right hand side, and flush down in the corner, so it's even up the side and even along the bottom, like so, and that can stick straight down. We'll just do this center panel first, and then this end, what I did was I marked roughly where this is going to, I'll just get a pencil. So we only wanted the glue to about there, to the end of the, I'll just go this way, to about there. I'll rub that back out. You don't want it glued over, that you only want it attached to this end, not to this piece here. That's free for floating free. So we shall put some seal down that one, so we know exactly. You could measure the width of that. Keep it away from that edge. And then the whole thing will just lie flat, and that should end up nice and even in that corner. And stick that down. Then it ends up like so. Then you do the same with the top one. Make sure you've got them in the right spot. This end one will be totally adhered down to that end, the right hand end. And I've written, in my instructions, I've written to do this one at the end first, so it's easy enough to line up the other end if this one's done this way. So that's that one there, and then this end, I'm just going to measure that, which is easier to do, from the end to about there is just over 4 inches. So I'm going to measure this. I just don't want to get it wrong and have it stuck where it shouldn't be stuck. So quickest way is to measure. I'll just put 3 strips along here. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit short, but you definitely don't want it over. Lay that out flat again, pop it down in that corner and stick it down. I've got a little bit of snail on there which will rub off. And that's your 3 panels. And I've used 3 designs. This is just a cloudy type motley design. This one's got a little triangle on it, a little diamond shaped, and this one in the centre's got the flowers. So that's the base done. We can put this back section on. I probably should put it in the middle to cover that score line, but you can hardly see it at the moment. So I'm still going to put it on the end. That will go on there. I do prefer the snail sometimes to the glue. The glue's good for quickness and if you need a bit of wiggle room, but I do like the Stamp and Seal. So that's that one. The stamp set I used for the greetings is this hello, and the other one was, it's just a little happy birthday. I can't remember which one I got it out of now. Oh, it was out of the Sending Smiles for the birthday wishes, and the hello is out of this one here. The flowers and all are cut out of the dies, with the dies out of here, and I've cut some flowers to just scatter around. I've also adhered, and these don't have sticky backs. They're the loose frosted dots. Really, really pretty. I've used lots of them. They're just loose dots, and you need to put them on with liquid glue. So all I do, I just put a little spot of liquid glue there, and then I pick them up with my tweezers and stack them on the top, and they're firmly stuck on there. So I've got this for here. And I'm going to put 1 flower there. It doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit. It's not going to matter. And I've got another flower for up here, which I can straddle down over the top of that because that's stuck down anyway. And I'm going to put another flower up over here on that section, like so. And this is going inside as well. So I'll put these front ones up on dimensionals, because it doesn't matter if it's a little bit thicker on the front. That's part of your card. It's the inside you don't want too much height. It'll make it too bulky to post. You may have to pay extra postage on this anyway, because it's quite a few layers stuck together. So this one is going here. I didn't want to cover this centre panel too much with anything else, because it's got the pretty flowers on there. And this one here, I'm just going to curl the edges of these a little bit, because they're only DSP and they curl quite nicely. Just put that one there. I'm going to stick it up on dimensionals as well. Put that one over that side. This one here can go at the top. Just give this one a bit of a curl. A couple of more dimensionals on top of those. I have lots of members in my Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group, and that people are sharing some of their projects in there, and they're so pretty. They've gone from some of their, I do live videos on a weekend, either a Saturday or a Sunday. There's live videos there to watch and PDFs for all the lives that I do. And we've been doing some little gifty things at the moment. I did some post-it notes the other week, And then I've done some little soap boxes and gift boxes, all for Christmas gifts, because I do market stalls that I sell my gifts to, and cards. So it's been nice showing others how to make these little gifts, and they go in and watch the video, and then they get the PDF and make their own creations, and it's so nice to see people sharing what they do. I'll put this one up here. It's okay up on dimensionals because it's still at the front but inside. But this greeting here, I'm going to put it in here. I don't think, oh, hang on and we'll have a look. I could put it up there and you won't see it. I don't want it showing halfway if I put it here, it'll stick out like that. So I might just put it up here, and I'm going to put it flat. And we get the snail to work. And I can put it dead center, because that's just a little generic type pattern there, so it doesn't matter if I cover that a little bit, because I want to show these flowers. That's the main feature of it. And there you go. I think that's all I was putting on it. That's all I've got left. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about the scoring mix-up. I did tell you the right measurement, but I scored it at the wrong place. So hopefully have a go at that one. That looks quite nice with the birthday wishes there. And it stands up nicely like so. And that's my other one. So have a go at that. Not difficult to do at all. It's called the Triple Z Fold card. And I'll catch you all again next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely week. Bye for now.